practically, in some ways, a little difficult to get back to possible. And what is the best way to serve them?
No, you say you order the
What
rules.
is the root cause? That's very good. So if we're, it's every moment of our life we're serving the highest thing, and we're serving everything is included in that. Rather than trying to go direct to each thing, or to intend each thing to be benefited as itself, you know? A little different idea is required. Not an immediate connection with each and everything, but a kind of mediated, they call it, mediated through something else. That requires a kind of different understanding, more internal understanding. Basically, that's the idea, service. And you're a great example of that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri
Vrindavan Dham Maya Purnam Navadvitam Ki
Jai.
Jai Prabhu Sri Gaur Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasudeva Gaur Bhakti Yoga Ki Jai.
Jai.
And then, Jai. Namacharya Sri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai.
Jai.
Sankirtan Jagni Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai.
Jai.
Bhakti Vedanta Institute Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Institute Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Jai Gaur Premanandi. Hari 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 Bol. Glory to the assembled devotees. Glory to all the worldwide devotees. Ki Jai.
Glories to Sripad Bhakti Madhava Maharaj. Ki Jai.
Bhakta Teres Ki Jai.
Super wonderful.
Is your water?
That is, would you like some?
I don't want to. When I run out.
Yeah.
Thank you. You think I would know the page by now?
Oh.
I'm like,
38.
oh, I thought 38. I should have just gone there. There it is.
Neham. Can you say my voice a little?
Andeham.
Verse.
Shri Guru. Shri Uta Parakamavam. Shri Guru Vaisnavam Sha. Shri Rupam Sagrajatam. Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam. Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam. Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Viskhanvitam Sha. Om Madhava Vrindhasya Kananchana Salakaya Chakshurun Milatangena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Puja Shri Guru Varga Vandita Mahabhavamritaya Sada Parvapaya Parampara Prachilita Pragya Pramodya Krite Bhakti Mavanirhasya Nivritam Samrakshakam Sadam Vande Shri Guru Devam Ananta Shira Acharya Bhayanijam Kurva Bishta Supurukam Guru Ganar Ashisha Sambhushitam Chincha Chincha Samasta Veda Nipunam Shri Rupa Padhana Nugam Govinda Vidamujvalam Bharatanum Bhakti Anvitam Sundaram Vande Vishwan Guruncha Devya Bhagavad Premno Hi Vijapradam Devam Devyatanam Suchanda Vadanam Bhagarka Chelanchitam Satnalanda Puram Senaka Vadanam Varagya Vidyam Buddhim Shri Siddhanta Nidim Shubhakti Lasitam Sarasvatanam Varam Vande Tam Sudam Manakasanam Yashishvaram Shri Darharam Shri Siddhanta Sarasvati Vidhito Gurya Guran Vaye Bhatu Vanariva Prabhata Gagane Yogura Sankirtanai Mayavada Timotodagatan Udrati Jivanima Krishna Prema Subhadhikana Sukham Pradat Prabhum Tam Bhaje Namo Gorkashwaraya Bhaktivaduta Murtaye Gorangi Bhagna Vrindaya Rana Baba Nishirine Hare Bhakti Vinodam Shri Gora Shakti Swarupakam Bhakti Sasragya Samrajam Radha Rasa Sudhanidim Kuravayashite Shesha Vaishnavar Vanya Vigraham Jagannatha Prabhu Vande Premagni Prena Vaishnavam Vanchakapatruvyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhimacha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Panchatattvamakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Svarupakam Bhaktavathanam Bhaktakyam Bhakta Shaktikam Namo Mahavanaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurādhishe Namaha Jayam Suratura Pangur Bhavamandam Tergati Matsarasvapadam Bhujo Radhamadana Mohano Divyat Vrinanya Kapatumana Srimad Ratnagana Simastanasto Sri Gandharva Sri Govinda Devo Kristali Vise Vimado Swanani Sriman Rasa Rasa Ramogi Simat Tastita Karshan Venu Svanar Gopir Gopinatha Shri Estuna Vrindanai Tulsi Devyai Priyai Kesavasya Krishna Bhakti Pradini Satyavachai Namo Namaha Atmanat Brahmantra Gurun Gurun Bhagavatartanan Vyasan Jagat Guru Natva Tato Jayam Viraya Jai Saparita Shri Shri Guru Karanga Gadana Govinda Sundar Pada Padanam Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare 105
Amara Jivana Sara Papirata Nahika Punyega Leisha
Amara Jivana Sada Paperata Nahika Punyera Lesha
Arera Uvega Diachi Kata Diachi Tive Papaisha
Harera Udvega Diachi Ekata Tiachi Jivera Lesha
Anisha Sukalagi Papena Hidari Kaya Hina Swarta Para
Nija Sukhalagi Papena Hidari Kaya Hina Sparta Para
Para Suke Duki Sada Nitya Basi Para Dukha Sukhakara
Para Suke Duki Sada Mitya Basi Para Duka Sukakara
Oshrisha Kamana Avidhi Mahimara Krodi Damba Parayana
Asesha Kamana Hridima Jemura Krodi Damba Paryana
Madhamata Sada Isais
Mohita
Isaya Mohita Hinsa Garba Vibhushana
Adamata Sada Vishaye Mohita Himsa Garva Vibhushana
Nidalasya Hata Maka Sukhaye Bhavata Arke Yogi Ami
Nidralasya Hata Sukhaye Virata Akarye Ujogiyami
Pratishta Lagya Satya Acharana Lobahata Sarakani
Pratista Lagya Satya Acharana Lobahata Sadakami
Ehina Dhutana Satana Bhajita Aparadi Nirantara
Ehina Durjana Sajana Bharjita Aparadi Nirantara
Shubha Kari Shunya Saranartha Mana Nana Suttu Pejarantara
Subhakarya Sunya Saranartha Mana Nana Duke Jara Jara
Avada Ke Aikana Upaya Vihina Tate Dina Akinchana
Gardha Ke Ekana Upaya Vihina Tate Dina Akinchana
Bhakati Vinora Arvura Charane Akare Dukani Vedana
Bhakati Vinoda Prabhuda Charane Kare Duka Nivedana
Amar Jivana Sarapapira Kitate Aika Punyera Esa
Amara Jivana Sada Papirata Nahika punyera lisha.
Opadero udvega diyachi ekata diyachi jivera klesha.
Harera udvega diyachi ekata diyachi jivera klesha.
Bhakti Yoga, Puri.
Jai.
Thank you.
In the Bhagavad Gita, what is that verse that uses Sharanagati?
Sharanagati. The last one, 18th.
What does it say?
Dharma?
Huh?
Sarva Dharma.
Huh?
Sarva Dharmam Prityaga Mamikam Sharanam Vraja.
So what does that word mean?
Sharanam? Sharanagati. Surrender.
Sharanagata. Sharanagati.
You're teaching well. You're teaching him well.
Sharanagati. So Krishna, what does it mean?
The verse, the meaning is Sarva Dharmam Prityaga. All Dharma is action, not action, but like duties, yes. And Sarva means all, so all duties. Sarva Dharmam Prityaga. Sharanam, Sarva Dharmam Prityaga. Sharanam, Tameham Sharanam Vraja. So Tam, Aham, Aham is I, Sharanam, Vraja. Basically, surrender all duties and surrender unto me. Krishna is saying, surrender all your duties and surrender unto me.
As they surrender, it says,
Sharanam.
Sarvadhamam Prityaga. Prityaga is what?
Tyaga is friend of the fallen. No, he's bonded.
Tyaga.
Tyaga.
Like Tyagi Maharaj.
Yes.
What does that mean? Tyaga. Renounce.
Renounce.
Tyaga. Give up. Sarvadhamam. All duties are to be renounced.
Give up all duties and surrender to me.
All your duties of this world that you think are important, they are not important. I am important, Krishna said. Revolutionary idea. But if you're so worried about maintaining yourself and this, and that, and the other thing, helping the world, helping this and that, and the other, you think you are in charge of all of that? You think it depends on you? No, you are very small. Among all these small people, you're very tiny. What you can do? Well, whatever you can do, that's very nice, but don't think that whole responsibility is in your hand. That is preposterous. I am there. You think this world is running without guidance? That is all a collection of random events, and it all has come by accident. Of course not. The trees, the clouds, the water, everything, the sunshine, the people, the animals, food. I made that. That's my creation. You are part of that. You don't think I've given the control over to you of everything. Foolishness. You are under my protection, my love. Because of me, they are there. And I'm asking only that you give your love to me, your attention to me. And you will see how sweet everything is running. I said, Sarvadharma Prityaga. You don't have to worry. All your duties that you have taken upon yourself, they are not. What you have to do is now take your mind, your attention, and direct it towards me. Mam ekam. Ekam means only. Mam means me. Krishna speaking. Mam ekam sharanam, and just surrender to me. Mam ekam sharanam. That's what this word. Sharanam. So this is Sharanagati Prarthana. This is it. This is a life of a devotee, a religious conception, a spiritual conception of life. It transcends the material idea. Become very dedicated to the spiritual conception of life. It's a different name than material life. And that's what we're doing. The Sharanagata is like of the surrendered souls. Fourth one is the prayers. The prayers, well, so how does a person who is in that mood and that who's wanting to follow Krishna's instruction in Gita, and all the negative is how does one, what does one say there? So here, Bhakti Yoga is doing this explanation. Bhavadasya sukhaita sangiram bhavane svastalpati ita janmane itaravatat asatesu ma smabud api me janma tatamukha mana. I have to read it.
Yeah. O Lord, let me take birth even as a worm in the home of those whose sole happiness is your service. O Lord, never let me take birth even as Brahma among those who are averse to you.
Those kind that mentality, those who have that mentality, non-material mentality, have a mentality of God-centered existence, God-centered life, or conscious of God, conscious of Krishna. That satisfies the hearts. Kamadinam katina katida palita tunideshas. Isham jatamai na karuna natrapi no pasyanti napashanati. Utrijaitan atan yadupate sampraptam labda buddhis ayata sharanam abhayam mam niyokshvatma dasya. This is from the Sripad Sindhu. Pashchima Vibhan.
O Lord, I have obeyed the wicked dictates of lust, anger, and so on, for so long and in so many ways. Yet they have never taken pity upon me, and now I have never felt shame or satisfaction. O Lord of the Yadus, now I have abandoned them and attained proper consciousness. I have surrendered unto you, the abode of fearlessness. Please engage me in your service.
The people who are entangled, people in general, entangled in desire, lust, anger. If they don't get what they want, they become angry. Right? And so on. Desire, and if the two things here, lust and anger, means desire and the lack of the fulfillment of one's desires.
Two people I met yesterday at Patel.
Huh?
Two people I met at Patel.
What is it?
From Patel.
Someone you met yesterday?
Two.
They make some move?
Yes.
No. There's two people. Haribo, please. Hi. Namaste. Please come over. We're having a meeting. So I said you could come.
Thank you.
You want to move it, stay over here? So
We have a Facebook Live on is for the reading. Is it okay with you?
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
If you would like to watch.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid.
Don't be shy.
Thank you very much for coming.
It's our pleasure. We were looking for it and yesterday
Is that
we came. Yes.
You have a hard time finding us?
Yeah. Going up and in here and there.
There's a simple way to come from Chambers Street.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
come, there's many, couple of doors. The front door is the most difficult way to come in.
yeah. There's no sign outside,
I
so
know,
to see
I
that.
know. Sorry about that.
That's okay. It's not a big deal, we found it.
So,
Hopefully we'll have a space with easier access sooner.
we better, yes, we want to get a new place. And
Okay.
we're trying to get a new place, and then we hope the door will be nearby, but closer to us. And we're talking today about Sharanagati.
Sure.
Sharanagati in Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah.
Krishna says,
Sarva dharmam prityaga mamikam sharanam vraja.
Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva dharmam parityaga mamekam sharanam vraja. In the Bhagavad Gita, the last chapter, Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters. And in the last chapter, Krishna summarizes the whole of his, he's talking to Arjuna in the middle of the battle,
Verse 66.
and giving so many instructions.
66.
He's giving so many instructions to Arjuna about yoga and karma and jnana and all these different things. And in the end, he says, finally, Krishna saying, look, Sarva dharmam parityaga mamekam sharanam. Means all your duties in this world are not important. The important thing is me. And surrender to me. Sharana. Sharanam Vraja. Mam ekam. He says ekam. Ekam means only. Mam ekam. Only to me you must Sharanam Vraja. You must surrender everything. Yeah. Anyone ever tell you that? That I'm the only important thing? God can say that. If anyone else says that, we think they're crazy.
Unless they take care of us.
we want that. We want
Yes.
everybody to surrender to me.
Yeah.
Everyone do what I want. But that's not realistic. When Krishna says it, then we have to take it seriously. Then what did he say? So that is told in the Bhagavad Gita. Then we're reading a book. Yeah, now we're reading a book by one of our teachers. His name is Bhakti Yoga. He's a great Vaishnava, great devotee of Krishna. And he has written a very nice book on Sharanagati. He said this is the central idea that people don't understand about religion. If this is missing, then the whole thing is, just material, another kind of material activity. And unless we understand Sharanagati, then whatever we do, even we go to the temple, we go to this, we do this puja, that thing, it's all not going to help. If you don't get the idea of surrender to me, then what are you doing? You're only engaged in another type of activity in this world. But this world is not the permanent place. Not our permanent place. You live here for 100 years, something like that. Finished. It's a temporary situation. Vedic culture knows this. Modern culture doesn't know anything about this. They only know this life, and the eternal life they know nothing of. And they don't even think of it, they don't talk of it, nothing. They don't do anything about that. There is an eternal life. There is. I like to say this, your life, you have your life. Everyone has their life. But we don't call it my story, we call it his story. His story. We're all part of his story. This is not my story. Yes, we each have our story. No, that's not important. My story is not important to you. Your story is not important to me. That's not important to the world. Nobody knows you. Very few, maybe. That's not the thing. But his story, here's the continuing thing. There's the eternal thing that's going on and on despite everyone's birth and death. So many people being slaughtered. Every one of us will be slaughtered. This planet is called Mrityulok. Everyone's going to be slaughtered. No question about that. Birth, what do they say? Death and taxes.
Things you can't avoid.
Two unavoidable things. My aunt recently passed away, and they're trying to settle her estate. And government won't let anything go. You can't have any inheritance, anything, the house, anything.
Taxes first.
Unless the taxes are taken care of. And they get, once the taxes are extracted, and then everyone can get whatever they're So death is certain. I say life is a fatal disease. Life is a fatal disease. You have to be born, you have to die. It's more than that. Or more than just this life and death. Life, and there's something eternal also that's going on. And what do we leave others, what do we leave behind us? We may help someone, feed them, help them get a job, help them this with that and the other thing. But what is going to be left after they had that exchange? You help somebody, you might get a house or this or the other thing. Yeah, fine, but what's going to be left after that? What do you leave? I'm going to die. Yeah. What am I going to leave anyway? What value, eternal value can I leave anyway? I can tell them about Krishna. That's going to go. I can help others understand that this is his story. Without him, that I can leave. And that will go on. And that's what all of us can do. Can all do that. If we can leave that with others. That consciousness, that eternal thing, that service of him, service of that eternal thing, that universal and ever existing truth. Then we've given a gift, a value, true life. That's what we try to teach, Saranagati. To get that thing of true value, lasting value, that won't just be for now or for a few years or for your whole life either. But even after that, it's there. That exists. Okay. But this life is just this it and it's over. And not the whole thing. Not the whole story. Not his story. Not his story. So now we're trying to read something about this, how to catch that idea, how to make that idea part of our lives, how to give that to others. That is what we're studying. Can everyone be seen?
For the most part.
For the most part. All right, so now the work with this computer thing is another solution there. But anyhow, for now, this is serving our purpose. All right. So we're reading the prayer by Bhakti Yoga concerning this Saranagati or surrender. Are you Bengalis?
Pardon?
Bengali? No.
No, I'm from Karnataka.
Karnataka. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, I grew up in Pune.
Pune.
Yeah, Pune. We recently went to.
I'm sorry?
Recently went to India.
Okay.
We went to Hare Krishna, Vada.
Oh,
Vada.
Vada.
Vada. Yeah. We were there for 4-5 days.
You stayed?
Yeah, we
Oh,
stayed.
you're a life member?
Yeah, we were long time ago.
Long time, in
Yeah.
80s, we are like.
Yeah.
So this is now, let's see. This is a prayer written by Rupa Goswami, another great Vaishnava devotee. And he's explaining how he's lamenting his life. He says, "O Lord, I have obeyed the wicked dictates of lust, anger, and so on for so long. and in so many ways. So we're explaining that lust and anger mean desire, and the non-fulfillment of desire. When everyone has some desire, some lust, and they have some obstruction to that fulfillment of that desire. So when we have our desires, we're happy. I want an ice cream, and you go and get an ice cream, and we're happy. If somebody says the ice cream store is closed, now, why do they close? Why did I angry? So I got angry. Not that's a simple, of course. When we get angry at other people, they're not doing what we want them to do, and we get angry. This is how life goes on. Is desire and the frustration of desire. Okay? So he's saying, all my life I've been living like that. He goes, well, selfish. I want, and I'm not getting, I get angry if I don't get what I want. So they had never, I've been serving these things, desire and the lack of the anger for so long, but I never, I'm ashamed about that. I'll never get any satisfaction by living like that. Okay? Now I have abandoned those ideas and attained proper consciousness. I've attained a proper vision of things. All that was based on my self-interest and opposition to that self-interest. Now I gain a wider consciousness that there is something bigger than me involved. It's Krishna. It's his world. Aham sarvasya prabhu. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Aham sarvasya prabhu, matat sarvam pravartate. Everything is coming from me, he says. Don't think it just came by accident. Don't think you just came by accident to this world. It's all coming from him. He has some plans, some purposes, and his purposes are to be fulfilled. This is the Vedic culture. Modern culture doesn't say like this. Modern culture, you came from the animals, the amoeba, the molecules produced everything by evolution. You might as well say by magic. How does molecule produce a human being? They don't have time. They can't do it. I have this sign here. Even a blade of grass cannot be made by the scientists. They cannot. Even all the scientists put together, they cannot make a single blade of grass. No, grass is growing all over the place. Very easy for nature to produce grass. How is that being done? Nobody knows. They say chlorophyll, this, that, and the other thing. But that doesn't explain how it came. And they can't put it in the laboratory, those chemicals, to make it. So, what a blade of grass is created, a great creation by something, an intelligence that's far beyond anything that we are capable of. Far beyond that. In God. So Krishna is saying, Aham sarvasya. I am the source. Aham means I. And Krishna is saying, I have created all these things. Now, anybody who says like that, they created so many things, we think they were crazy. But when Krishna says it again, we have to think. Why do we ignore the Bhagavad Gita? It's like we think some crazy person wrote that. Krishna himself is speaking to us. The Bible, all these things about religion, people think it's all superstition. Do they have any explanation? Do they have any explanation for the blade of grass? Any other explanation? Can we believe that just molecules form that? But then, all right, you say molecules form. Let me see. How do you do it? Take the molecules. Let me see. Produce it. Make it.
Molecule also.
Huh?
God created that.
Ah.
And he goes there. Even molecule is the science works there according to him.
So, these things are there. So here he's telling, look, I was going on in this misconception of everything with myself as the center, and what I want and what I don't want, or what I don't get. All life was centered around that. No. Now I recognize that's all false. There's Maya. And I'm thinking, no, I understand. There's something more. Well, let me pay attention to that. Let me pay attention to it. So I've abandoned all those things. And I never got satisfaction from that way of life. Now I'm giving that all up. And I'm trying to have another one. A life centered in you. A life with some knowledge and not based on ignorance. Yeah. So I've abandoned those things and attained proper consciousness, a proper conception of things, a proper orientation in life. Based upon a little bit of knowledge, and not only upon myself, small interest, but upon the greater interest. Then I surrender to you, and you, the abode of fearlessness. Ah, very nice. Huh? Abhai Charande, Abhai Charan, Abhai Charan. Fearless at the feet of the Lord. Who has taken shelter of the Lord? They become fearless. My greatest fear is what?
Death.
Death. My greatest fear is death. Oh, nobody wants to know. Any situation with death is there, let me go on. But who surrenders to Krishna? Another thing. One time I told, when her relatives died, I told my aunt, her husband died, I said, Dad, there's not a period at the end of a sentence. That's not there. There's not a period at the end of a sentence. It's the point at which the next sentence begins. In the never-ending story that is called history. This is only the period at the end of a sentence, which is a never-ending story. Never-ending story. There are so many sentences in the story. Maybe one sentence will end, but that doesn't mean the story is ended. So who understands that higher vision, the history, what it is? They're not afraid of that. They understand it in the proper perspective. And that they're a part of that, and not the whole of it. And they're happy with that. It's okay to be part. It's okay. When you play your part well, that's all. And understand the story that you're part of. That's important. So you, the abode of fearlessness, please engage me in your service. That's all. He doesn't want to be eternal. He doesn't want to be anything else. He just wants to understand his proper position in this world and do that. Serve. That is his fulfillment of life. They're not looking to become the big scientist or a famous person or a president. Wealthy, famous, honored by others. Whatever happens, that happens. But he knows what his position is. And that is the most satisfying thing. That Krishna is pleased. That is his whole life, or her life. That's all. It's a very valuable gift to have that kind of knowledge. Chit, sat-cit-ananda. That chit is knowledge. Have that kind of knowledge. Of the sat, the eternal. That is ananda. That is fulfillment. That is joy. And to be able to engage in that kind of life. So, Naitan manas tavat tatashu vaikuddharita tata sampriyate durita dustam asharu tivram kamatoram kars plus. Sorry. Kamataram harsha shoka vayai shanartam vayai shanartam tasmin katam tavakatim vimrishami dinaha from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Durita dushita mana asadu manasa kama harsha shoka vaya eshanara avasa tavakata rati hishe aibe amar Tishe Krishna Tava Lila Kariba Vichar. My mind is sinful. Okay, Prabhu.
My mind is sinful, polluted, and dishonest. It is controlled by lust, pleasure, lamentation, fear, and desire. How will I obtain loving attachment for discussions about you? O Krishna, How will I reflect upon your pastimes?
Well, life is so complicated. All these things are there. Huh? What I want, how to be happy, what I'm unhappy, what I'm afraid of, huh? What I want, all these things are there in our life. They fill up our life. Like having a glass full of water, but the water is all polluted. And then you can't put anything else in that one glass. Thank you. Mine is empty.
Now it's full.
Now it's full, yeah.
So, when our life is so full like that, what else can we put in it? Think about Krishna, it's like, well, that's impossible. I have so many things to worry about. Huh? So many people to worry about, so many things to worry about. How I can think about Krishna? What do you think? There's no room. So, now you say, my life was polluted like that. I was living in an illusion of this material world. What do I just speak of thinking about the reality that I'm part of? And there's no room for that. Not like that. We go on life after life. And ignorance. It's because we're busy. We're busy. And with the wrong things. It's possible. We can fill our life with all the wrong things and be busy about that the whole life. And die without any ever knowing what the real purpose of our existence is. You know? It's a terrible thing. Yeah? How will I obtain loving attachment? How will we develop our love for Krishna? Really, there's nothing we can do to do that. Love for Krishna is not something we have the power to do for ourselves. We need His help. We need His help. No doubt. Because we're ignorant. We're attached to so many mundane things. That's what we grew up as. That's what our parents taught us, that's what our friends tell us. So we're entangled like that. Very rare do we find someone who can get beyond that. Right? One who does get beyond that, it's not because of them, it's because of you. He has to say, okay, I'm choosing you. You can become my devotee. I want you to become my devotee. So in that sense, we have to depend on Him. But we can still understand, even though we are not part of that higher call, persons who have been called. Even if we are not there, we can understand. Well, Krishna, I know it's up to you. I'm in your hands. I may be entangled by so many things. What can I do? You know, I'm a finite being, a conditioned being, no doubt. So I depend on you. And if we can pray like that, my dear Lord, it's not you have to help me. You know, I can't do it myself. I think that's the beginning of Sharanagati. And the beginning of surrender. It will happen. Who can come to that point? It will happen. Krishna will never neglect one who sincerely prays to Him. You know, He wants us. He wants our love as much as we want His. That world is a world of love. Only. Divine love. Not the love of one another, but divine love of Him. He wants that. There's our higher fulfillment. And that is the method of His fulfillment, of His relationship with devotees. He wants that. That is His love. And it's expressed in this world through His devotees, who have so much love for Him. They do so many things to sacrifice. You see, in India, you see people who are going without clothes, without food, without anything, without a job, just wandering in the world, depending on God. Go door to door begging, and whatever comes by mercy of God, they take that. Many people like that in India. They indicate to us the people of faith. Here in faith, that people live in a big temple or a big church or whatever. They have a lot of help, but many of those people there, the saints, go off into the forest or wherever, the mountains, they meditate with nothing. And yet Krishna provides for them. Even Jesus taught. But look, there's so many birds and elephants and other things. They're all getting their food. The flowers are so getting such beautiful garments. Where do you think it's all coming from? But the human beings are worried about all these things. And you know, that's a high conception. But it's there. And in this society it's not so well understood or promoted. But anyhow, we're studying the ancient ideas and seeing how that can be relevant to our present lives. What at least we can take something. The Mahaprabhu taught, at least you can chant Hare Krishna. You don't have to change anything, but at least if you take the holy name, that'll be nice. I'll be happy. And then some spiritual benefit will come. And then whenever you can come and associate with the sadhus, the saints, and hear Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, all these things, and it's very nice.
That's why we do that.
I know, I appreciate that. And we appreciate your coming also. We need your association. Do we come here? An empty room is not very nice.
Yesterday we met,
I know,
we
yes,
came
it's
to
right.
here and
I'm happy.
I was looking
Yeah,
for
it's
it.
fine. And where do you live?
Yes.
East Windsor.
Eastwood, okay, so not
Not
too
far,
far.
not
Yeah,
far.
not far, yeah.
Anyhow,
There is one temple, Hare Krishna temple in
in
Plainsboro,
Plainsboro, yeah.
Plain
We used-
Bill.
Thank you.
Plainfield, yeah. Plainfield. And from Bridgewater, we used to live in Bridgewater. We used to.
We just
welcome
moved
them,
here.
yeah.
We used to live in
So it's
Central
quite
Jersey.
far for us to
Where's
go
Bridgewater,
there.
Bridgewater, Somerset.
Oh, in Somerset, okay.
Yeah, right.
How long
Yes.
have you been here now?
So for a year,
A year.
not even a year, 10 months, I think, 11 months.
Very nice.
Mhm.
So, I mean, this is what's being discussed here now. So let's see, what else does he have to say? Jivai kato chutta vikarshati mavitra kripto krishno nitaspad udaram shravanam kutaschit grano nitaschapa vikha karma shakir tavyasapya eva deha patim unanti. Again from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Jiva thane rasapati upasta kadarte udar bojani thane vishama anarte charma thane saidite shravana kathaya kahana thane surabite chakshu dishayaya karmendriya karme thane bahupatni yatha grihapati akarshaya moramana tata emata avasta Mora Sri Nanda Nandana Ki Rupe Tomara Lila Kariva Smarana. Then, what does it mean?
Like a household, like a householder, pulled in different directions by each of his wives, my mind has been pulled by the tongue towards tastes, by the genitals towards perversion, by the belly towards eating, by the skin towards a comfortable bed, by the ears towards discussions, by the nose towards fragrances, by the eyes towards sights, and by the senses of action toward their respective functions. Such is my predicament. O Nanda Nanda, how shall I remember your pastimes?
So, here he's saying the senses are our masters. Instead of being the master of the senses, the senses pull us. They are mastering us. You have to go here. Here's something nice. Go there. Here's something beautiful, something enjoyable, something this, something that. And the senses all go, oh. What happened?
Your time is up again. We gotta keep resetting.
Well, when this goes off, I think that goes
Oh
off.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
mirroring. It's mirroring it.
So, that's the idea here. Who's the master? You or the senses? Are you supposed to be the master? Master of your senses?
You're supposed
Or
to
the senses
be.
is the master of you?
We are supposed to
It
be
is your
master.
buddhi is the master.
Bhudi. Bhudi is the master. That, we should go by our intelligence.
Mind versus buddhi.
You may want to go and eat so many different things. And their stomach becomes, let's see. So do you go and eat that? No, you say, oh no, I'm gonna get sick like this. That's right. That's control. That's the master of the senses. When you're led by the senses,
It's hard.
you get a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Lust, anger, greed, dishonesty, all these things, ego. If we let those things lead us, we can become indifferent. Oh, there's so much money in the bank, let me go and take it. Not very good, right? So, we have to be the master of the senses, not the sense to be the master of us. That's the idea. That's the yoga system. Yoga means how to make yourself the master of these senses.
Eating food also, we have to control it.
Yes. So that's the idea. What are you saying here? I've been the master of these, I've been mastered by these things. I've been the slave. Now, please help me get back in order. Establish the proper order of things. Not that it's so hard. We don't say you have to stop all the senses. That's impossible. You don't have, huh?
If you don't eat, it's not a
Right,
good
right.
thing
Yeah,
either.
Yes,
everything
we
has,
need, yeah.
everything has its proper
Yeah.
proportion.
Right.
And, sure, we like to see beautiful things. That's not a bad thing. But, how to do it in a way that, if you see a beautiful woman or something like that, you're attracted by that, that may not be the best thing. But if you see the beauty of the deity, or the beauty of the Lord, or the Lord's pastimes, the paintings that remind us of Krishna, that is a good use of beauty. That is a good use of the eyes. That is okay. We're encouraged to do that, to see the beauty of the Lord. You see a flower, and you remember, who made that? You see a painting, and you know, that's a beautiful painting. But who was the artist who made that? What is the idea that he had, or she had, to make that painting? That was also very beautiful. Well, it's not the beauty that is bad. It's the attitude that we have. Where is that leading us? How can that be utilized to raise us to a higher perfection, rather than to become a master of us that is taking us to a lower form, a lower position. So we're not against beauty. We're not against intelligence. We're not against science or anything like that. But where is it leading us? Is it going to benefit? Is it going to bring us to something higher? Higher can never lead us into more ignorance, more entanglement. We are not afraid of beauty. We're not afraid of wealth. We're not afraid of anything if it's utilized properly. Utilized in the service of Krishna. Utilized to make people more Krishna conscious. That's why you see, like in the ISKCON temple, we have the deities so beautifully dressed, so many things. It's nice. That reminds us of Krishna. The paintings we have here. The saints, remembering the saints and so forth. That helps us. Or tasting the prasad. There's also the Krishna. Yes. And also a way of remembering Krishna. Well, not that the senses are bad. Not that we don't want senses. Or that we should just nullify the senses. That's what the yogis try to do. That's not good. That won't last. What we have to do is try to use the senses properly. Link. Yoga means link. So those senses can also be linked to Krishna. That's proper yoga. Not the yoga of renunciation, but the yoga of dedication. Bhakti. That's called bhakti. There's a Sangha yoga, there's all different kinds of yoga, right? But the yoga that links us with Krishna, that's called Bhakti yoga. That means to utilize your senses, to link your senses and your mind with Krishna. That's all. how shall I remember your pastimes when my mind is filled with so many other things? This is what he's saying here. So what to do? Again, now he's going to tell us some more. Tadashtu me nata sas puri bhago pade vanyatra tuva tirashtam ye na hame kopi bhavajjananam bhutpadi sheve tava pada palavam. Another verse of the Sripad Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is a very beautiful book. Have you seen?
Yeah.
You've seen 12 volumes or 14 volumes. Brahma janme va anya kona bhave pashu pakshi haye chami tomar vibhade matra asad hava bhakti ganam sage taki hava pada seva karinan range. Want to read?
In this birth as Brahma, or in another life born as an animal or bird by your will, I desire only to remain in the association of your devotees, to engage in various ways in the service of your feet.
Yeah. So devotee doesn't care if he's Brahma, if he's an insect, a worm, whatever life he may take. That's not the important thing. To be born a human being, not the important thing. And what is important? To be remembering Krishna. Even if a worm can somehow remember Krishna, it's better to be a worm in the house of a devotee where they are worshiping Krishna and he's getting the influence of that, than to be a human being and be living out there in the world as, what's his name? Gates. Bill Gates. Somebody else who has no idea about Krishna. A rich man has all this fame and the money and all that, but he doesn't know anything about his spiritual life. Better to be a worm. You get some blessing of that higher plane, some connection with that higher plane. This is the most important thing. This is the way. Veda teaches us. This is the way the devotees teach us. These are the teachings of the spiritual nature. Nothing is more important. Huh? So to be in a place, in an environment where something is in connection with Krishna is better than being in a lavish situation or a palace or whatever else. Convisha te para saroj bhajan sudurlaborste chaturvapiha tatapi naham pravanomi bhuman bhavat padamboja Ishevanotsuka Krishna Tava Pada Padma Bhakti Achayar Tatar Varga Madhya Tiba Aprapya Taha Tatapi Tomara Pada Seva Matachai Anya Kona Arte Mora Prayojananahi.
O Krishna, which of the four ends, Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha, remain unattainable for one who has devotion to your lotus feet? Still I desire only the service of your feet. I have no need for any other end.
So, in Vedic culture, there are four Purusharthas, we call them. You know these Purusharthas? There's Dharma, Kama, Moksha, and Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. Right? Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. Dharma means your duties. You have to fulfill your duties. That's one end of life. To do what your duty is. You're a mother, you have to be a mother, and so forth and so on. If you're a policeman, you have to do your duty. If you're a government agent, if you're a soldier, you have to fight, this, that, the other thing. Right? You have a job in the factory, you have to do that. It's called Dharma. You're doing your duty. Dharma. Artha. From doing your duty, go to work, go this, do that, do your duty, you get what? Well, Dharma. You get something to enjoy with. So you do your work, you're enjoying the fruits of your work, Artha. In Kama, you have your personal desires, what you want to fulfill in your life, how you want to be happy and so forth and so on. And then Moksha. After it's all done, you say, well, I'm going to die now, so I'm going to leave it all behind. Then let me detach from everything. Then we get liberation. These are the four aims that a materialist has. And everyone has in the material world. They have only these aims. Do your duty, make some money, get whatever, education, artha, kama, and enjoy some pleasures, and moksha, and get liberation at the end. Salvation. That's all they think life is about. No. They don't teach that. Something higher than that, yeah? 4. The 5th aim of life is called bhakti, praying. Krishna praying. The 5th aim of life. There's four sharthas, and there's a 5th aim of life. And Krishna. As opposed, these 4 things are going this way, so they're going this way. Those 4 things are all going in this way, in the material world, and that one is going. It goes away from all these other ones. A different direction. Krishna praying. That's the idea.
That makes it memorable. You say that.
Nakamaye nata ta apyaham kvachin yatra yusmach charanambuja sava mahatman mahitmantara hridayan mukha chito vidatsva varnayatam esane vara. Yohate tomar pada seva shukanai sevara aminata kabunai chai patera hridaya riti tavugunadara suniti ayutta varna karaha vidam. As you notice, you may notice, this one is in Sanskrit, and then the commentary that Bhaktivinoda makes is in Bengali. In Bengali. So what does it say?
I never desire any benediction which does not grant the joy of service to your feet. O Lord, grant me 10,000 ears to hear the narrations of your glories from the hearts of your devotees.
If we could have anything we wanted by praying to the Lord, dear Lord, what would you ask for? And he's saying here, we'd only ask for devotion to you. If I could have anything, I could receive any benediction from you whatsoever. Wealth, beauty, charm, honor, prestige. I could receive anything. The only thing I would ask for is to be your devotee. If I could be your devotee, if I can have devotion to you, if I can have love for you, it's the only thing I would ever ask for. And all these other things are meaningless. That's devotion. That's what he's saying. By hearing from the devotees who have that kind of devotion, we may get that feeling, that inspiration in our hearts. If we can hear about that from a person who has that, then we can get that. It's like you go to a poor person. Prabhu, can you give me $100? I don't even have $5. I wish I had $100. But if you go to a rich man and say, "Can I have $100?" No problem. So if we go to a devotee for devotion, he has to have. I want to hear from you because you have something that I'm trying to get, and I can get that from you. Then we have to see where's that devotee that I can get some inspiration from. That's why in Vedic culture we have guru. Guru is the one who has that wealth, and he can give us. He is a spiritually wealthy person. That's the idea. And from it, we can get something.
It doesn't last long, does it?
Huh?
It doesn't last very long.
No problem. We're
Yeah.
getting some good
Oh, we're
ideas
getting
here.
great.
We're ready, we'll tolerate a few things. 2 minutes of interruption, no problem, right?
Yeah.
So, I gotta find a better system, that's all. Read another one, that's one more. Nanaka prastamna cha prameshyam tasarva bhavunam na rasadi pacham. The yoga siddhir apunarvavam va samad samanjasatva virahasya kankshe. We don't even need that, right? Svarga manamesti stan sarvabhauma pada rasatala adipatra yogera aprapada. Nirvana ityadi yata chari sevatava nahi magi e mora pratigya akaitava.
O ultimate principle, I do not desire residence in the heavenly planets of the coast of Brahma, dominion over the earth, rule of the hellish planets, the powers produced by yoga practice, liberation from the material world, or any other such end. If I have to give up your service, this is my sincere promise.
Basically the same thing. You know, by practicing yoga, they get different powers. You can become lighter than the lightest. You can go touch the moon with your finger. You get power over others. Hypnotic power. You can expand yourself 9 different locations. By practice of yoga, these powers are there. Nobody doesn't care for that. So what? I'm not interested. If I have your service, my dear Lord, then I fulfill totally fulfill. I don't want what I want. That is so powerful. It is so fulfilling. Soul fulfilling. And nothing can compare with that. Anyhow, these are the prayers that Bhakti Vinod is offering to us, how to inspire that devotion, that love. How far meager attempts to serve Krishna, to love Krishna. And we like to read these things, to remember these things, and to share that with others, and to share others' experiences also. Because we need that. We all need that. This world is the world. The world is there. It's pulling us. Pulling us away from that. So wherever we can get some help, I appreciate that. So much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Oh, any questions? I'm very happy you are so intently listening and very nice.
My question is how to control our mind when I meditate. My mind goes this. It's very hard for me to focus. I'm trying very hard, but before I know it goes here and there.
Arjuna asked the same question.
Yeah, that's right.
He said, Krishna, how am I going to control my mind? It's more difficult to control than the wind.
Like, yes.
Huh? How do you control the wind? You don't blow this way, blow that way. Krishna told him very simply, by practice. So, I've given us the process of Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, I
Hare
love it.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. good way.
Yeah, that's what I
But
do.
even that's difficult.
Yeah.
You sit down, Hare Krishna, you do it once, second time, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Oh, did I put that pot on the stove? So, but it's wonderful. You know, you're out and your mind is bothering you,
Yeah.
and giving you some pressure or whatever, and you just say Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. That's all. Wow. And your mind is confused and you don't know what to do. Then Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. One way, it helps in certain circumstances. But you want out something that's going to help you and make progress, definite progress in that. So, Bhakti Yoga is not just meditating. That's one process. It's called Shravana. Hearing. Shravana, Kirtanam. And when we say it, it's chanting. So Shravana is there, hearing, chanting. That's chanting the holy name. Shravana, hearing. But there's also here. Now you're doing Shravana. You're coming to see the devotees. That's Shravana. Hearing. And you're asking questions also. And they're talking, you're hearing, Kirtanam. Shravanam, Kirtanam. Then comes Smaranam. Smaranam is remembering. Vishnu Smaranam. So in this way your mind is becoming fixed in that higher remembrance. Not that, you know, your whole life you have to spend without any devotional association, without any hearing anything, reading the Bhagavatam, reading the prayers, doing so many things. There's ways of training the mind so that we can gradually bring it to that place of remembering Krishna, Krishna consciousness. Marna means actually Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness means remembering Krishna. So, Vishnu Smaranam or Krishna Smaranam. The Shravanam Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Then there's Pada Sevanam. Doing some service. Humble service. Instead of just doing all the things that you're doing in your life, try to do something that's in the service of Krishna. In the service of his mission, in the service of his teachings. Pada Sevanam, a very humble service. Pada means foot. Serving the feet. You don't have to be a big servant, oh, I'm doing it. No. A little servant. Whatever little things we can do. Take a leaf from the tulsi plant. Put it in some water, offer it to Krishna. Something like that. And that will help our minds also. And during the day, if we do that once in the day, that's very nice. Little sadhana, they call that. Little practice. Shravanam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam. If you have a deity at home, or a picture, or whatever, and you do some incense, that's Archanam. It also helps us in that. Archanam. Vandanam. Vandanam means prayers. Dear Lord, I know I'm a rascal, but please, take some pity on me. Give some mercy to me. I can't claim any, being any kind of deserving anything from you. Because I'm simply a rascal. I can't claim to deserve anything from you. But you have your grace. You have your mercy. That mercy doesn't care for what I am, how many bad things I am, I do, or whatever. But your mercy is there. I can pray at least for that. Vandanam. Now you may have mercy on me. And the only thing that's going to save me, because justice, if it was up to justice, I'd be... I'm not going to the justice part of you. I'm going to the mercy part of you. I need something extra. Forgiveness. And that's the only way I'm going to cut to that. That's Vandanam. I can say. Vandanam also means not only think about yourself, but also thinking how wonderful the Lord is. Praise. Prayer in English, prayer means praise. Praise Krishna. Oh, how wonderful. You have given me all this in my life. So many people don't even have what I have. Have some kind of health, some kind of strength, some kind of knowledge, some kind of easy living condition. All by your mercy, I have this. And you're so nice to do that for us. And also think in terms of the scriptures, how beautiful the Lord is, how ecstatic arts, pastimes, his lila. His names are so beautiful to say. They give us so much joy when we chant his names and remember his names. I like this. Pray. Praise. Then, as soon as, even just saying Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna means remembering Krishna. Hare Krishna, you are there. And I recognize you, and I recognize your presence. And I glorify that. It's so exciting to know, Hare Krishna, that I can contact you with just your name. I can remember you, I can feel your presence with just a simple vibration of your name. Because Krishna is not different from his name. Nothing is different from Krishna, actually. But anyhow, Vandanam. Then, Arjuna Vandanam Dasyam. Dasyam means actually becoming a servant of Krishna. I've given up everything else, and I just want to serve Krishna. And that's my position. I am a simple servant of Krishna. And that's all I want in life. Simply to serve Krishna. Sakyam means becoming a friend of Krishna. Krishna is my friend. I am his friend. Atma Nivedana means surrendering everything, your whole heart, body, mind, soul, everything. I am yours, you can do with me what you want. This is the way, gradual progress of the mind, that will lead the mind. So how do we control the mind? We offer prasad to Krishna. When we cook, when we eat, we offer the prasad. When we want to do something, talk about something, we talk about Krishna. Or we read some book. And when we're not reading, we may chant Hare Krishna. So Bhakti Yoga means how to utilize everything in your life for remembering Krishna. And this way the mind becomes fixed. Whenever you look at Krishna, look at a picture of Krishna, look at a picture of the devotees. Why look at so many other things? Whenever you eat something that's open to Krishna. Why eat something else? Whenever you talk about Krishna. Talk with people who want to talk about Krishna. Don't talk about all these other nonsense. Well, whatever, friends are not nonsense, but, it's nice, but it's not. See, if you really want to fix your mind, then you'll look for those things that will connect you with Krishna in some way. Not that you just have to sit and meditate. You utilize every part, every moment of your life, every action of your life. All the aspects of your senses, use them somehow to connect. And that will gradually bring the mind up to remembering. Understand?
Thank you.
A very practical thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's hard to sit and meditate. That's Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga, make that a life, part of your life, your lifestyle. Teresa's the mother of Krishna.
Oh, really?
You're from Princeton?
No, Monmouth County.
Aman.
Yeah, from Eatontown originally.
Oh, okay.
How you came to Krishna consciousness?
Well, Krishna's name is meaning all attracted.
He
So
attracted you.
This is making the most sense. Dedicating your life in a good way.
But during childhood, you go with your mother?
No,
never.
just maybe the last 2 years. Maybe.
Last 2 years.
Yeah.
He's teaching me.
By the mercy of God.
He's learning from Maharaj and he's teaching me.
I'm very happy to get to know about you.
And so you are from Princeton?
Well, where am I from? I don't know where I came from, but somewhere. But I'm living in near Tom's River right now.
Tom's River.
Okay. We have this center here for the past 6 years. We're going to have to. They sold the building. We're going to have to try to find another place.
Oh.
Oh, you will be here for 6 years?
Well, since 2012.
2012. Yeah.
Oh, really?
7
I
years.
didn't know. Yesterday I
7
came to
years.
know.
Yeah. I
7
only knew
years,
about it
that's
for a
right.
year.
Then they sold the building?
They sold the building. They're going to turn it into some type of hotel.
Oh,
So,
so,
we have to find another place. This is convenient because it's right next to the university, although it's very difficult to find. I know once you come in the building,
yeah.
it's very hard to find. So hopefully we can find something that will be a little bit more easily accessible.
Maharaj is having, before coming to Krishna consciousness, he's having background as a scientist. He's getting his Ph.D. in Georgetown in chemistry, and Srila Prabhupada, his Diksha Guru, they say,
Oh, is it?
he's saying use your background to preach about Veda to the scientists. So after doing much seva in India for many years, finally when he came back here to the States, he said he opened up the institute here in Princeton to preach to the scientists specifically. So now that we have to find a new place, we're looking for somewhere. We want to stay here, the place to talk to the scholars, to talk to the scientists about Veda, about life comes from life, matter comes from life, this kind of truth in Veda. So we have to look now.
So when you opened the institute, you just came back from India at that
No,
point?
no.
Oh, no, I didn't think so.
I've been doing this on the internet, whatever. I lived in India for a long time.
Where in Bengal or
Well, I lived partly in Maharashtra, near in the Juhu temple actually.
Jew temple.
And then after that, I lived on the west coast. Sorry, on the east coast, I guess, where Calcutta is and Navadvip.
Yeah, now,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
He's a niece.
I'm sorry?
And he's a
my
husband's
brother's daughter, she's involved in Hare Krishna.
His niece is a devotee.
devotee. Her
His
husband
niece.
Is Tulsi?
His
Devotee.
niece is a devotee.
Devotee.
Devotee. And
They're
her-
both husband
her
and wife.
Husband and wife.
They were in Jew.
Jew.
Oh,
Jew. They were in Jew. Yeah.
They brought you, that's why they brought you closer to them.
No, we were
Oh, you
here
were-
before
When Prabhupada came in
was,
70s in
70s
Manhattan,
since
when they
we are
opened
there.
Where?
in Manhattan
Oh, Manhattan,
in
really?
1970s.
Yeah.
We were there. First
Oh,
temple
wonderful. Did you
they.
meet Prabhupada?
We didn't meet Prabhupada that time
Oh.
because 66 he developed the temple.
He started.
Yeah, he
Start.
started. in
We used to go
66,
there.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And then 71 we came, and that's the only temple.
That's
for
about
we
when I
could-
came.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
71.
Maybe we met you.
That is the only temple.
You look familiar to me. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Manhattan, there was a temple, and I used to take. That's the only temple we had to
Oh, that's
go
wonderful.
to our children to show
Yes.
our Vedantic life.
Okay.
But then he was moving, we are moving, and
Well, that's wonderful. You had a long association with us.
yeah, and that time, and then we went to move to Pittsburgh. So there is a West Virginia. That
Oh.
we went.
Yeah.
We used to go there also.
Wow. You're old timers.
Yes, we are.
West Virginia will become a member in the 80s. That Narada Muni was a president.
Okay.
Now I heard he's in somewhere else.
Wow, it's so nice to meet you.
Mhm.
That's such a long association.
And there is another Swami. Now I'm not getting his name. When I need them. We recently met him.
I'm sorry?
Another Swami in
Swamiji,
New York.
yeah. What's his name?
Where?
In New York.
No, in
In
India we met.
Obviously in India?
His name is.
Where? What part of India?
No, in Bombay.
He
I met
goes
him.
all over.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
What is his name? My God.
Radhanath?
Rather not.
Radhanath Swami, yes.
Wow.
That's what we're trying to get it. Yeah.
Wow.
We actually
I'm
saw him
impressed.
when we went to Wada.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it is about 2.5 hours from
I wanted
Bombay.
to see him.
Bombay.
So Radhanath
Then
Swami
he
is-
came there. We
is-
saw him.
He also lectures. So
Radhanath,
I
yeah.
like it.
Christopher went to India in February and March
Yes, I
this
just
year.
went for the first time to
What
West
part?
Bengal.
West
West
Puri,
Bengal,
yes.
yeah.
And
Maybe
Puri
next
also.
time.
Puri.
They are building very big Vedantic.
The Mayapur temple?
Mayapur
Mayapur.
temple, yeah.
Planetarium.
Planetarium, yes.
You went?
No,
No.
we
saw
were only
just in the
for 3
picture.
weeks.
Picture,
Maybe next trip.
How often do you
Bombay we went
I
because
don't,
in fact
remember
lot
that
of
often
wedding,
now. My
one of
parents
my
were there,
relatives'
so-
wedding was there in
Yes,
that Bombay temple,
Oh,
Jew
yeah.
Jew temple.
Ah,
Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Lot of wedding happening. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Mm.
Anyhow, we're not actually associated with ISKCON so much. We have our own organization.
I see.
Okay.
They call it the Bhakti Vedanta Institute.
Institute,
Uh-huh.
okay.
And we're trying to teach mostly the scientists and people of that.
Okay.
Because, you know, people in general, you tell them to chant Hare Krishna. If we tell them scientists that, they say, what? What has they got to do with anything, right?
Mm.
So you have to tell them in a certain way how to teach
Yeah.
that about God and things like that. You know, and you need a little bit of a type of teaching. So we try to serve that group of people, the academics. That's what we're next to do on
Yeah, I was just gonna say that too, the conference.
And we just had a conference at Rutgers last June.
I see.
This past, yeah.
It's been an international conference series that Maharaj initiated with our partner institute in India. And for the first 6 years, it was between Nepal and India, various universities there. And then for the first time this past June, they came here to Rutgers in the United States. So then this is the conference souvenir that's having abstracts from Maharaj and all of the other speakers who presented. If you'd like to take a look, we have many
Sure.
copies.
Yeah, take one. We're special guests.
Many copies. So.
If you like.
Are you coming from, what's your professional background? Science or something like this?
Yeah.
Science.
Science.
You're a scientist?
Not scientist.
Even.
I'm a physician.
Physician. Physician.
Opposition, medical. Do you still practice?
No, I retired.
Retired. That's very technical. I don't know. Are you also in the science field or?
No, I'm home science.
You're
Yes.
home science.
Yeah, take credit for that, good. Home science, I like that.
Home science, I do. Take care of all this.
When you're cooking, it's
Yeah, we know how to
Experimenting.
spices good.
chemicals, it's
Spices.
all, you gotta,
Without that, nothing else will be going on. in
that's
the world.
right, that's
And
right.
Indian cooking is all,
I know. It's
you have to know all the spices, which one is good for this,
Yes.
which one is good for that. Turmeric is good for this.
Oh, yeah, it's good for everything.
Well, today we have some prasad.
We do.
Krishna Keshavan is not an expert, but he's very devoted,
Oh,
devotional.
God's
Model
name
love.
and that, everything tastes good.
Yeah.
Chad. Yes, we can do.
Oh, would you like to take some prasad?
Sure, definitely.
Maybe you can bring it, maybe everybody stay where they are, just do some tables.